Hey there everybody, how's it going? Trim here. Don't have long today on this, but this is a Triumph Daytona 675R in black. I'll give you a bit of a better look round as we get going, but let's just get off. Right, first time on a Daytona. Be a great comparison this because I'll be able to compare it straight to my CVR 600. So let's get going. Wow, this is strange, man. This is strange. Clutch is light as anything. Oh. It's got a quick shifter as well, apparently. So this is essentially the same engine that's in the Street Triple, except it's a sports bike, which is always great. It's a bit wet today, so I can't go too crazy, but I can give it a bit. Second thing is the mirrors. Not really a fan of them. They're quite hard to adjust because they're like on a mounting plate. They don't just turn up like mine do, so they're a bit strange as well. Power is up front is nearly identical to the Street Triple. In fact, it is identical. Yeah, the clutch is incredibly light. Let's talk about positioning wise. Bars are quite far down. Back seat is quite high up. It's like a very sporty position. But the bike is thinner than my CVR by quite a lot, you know. Like, between your legs, it feels like a 125. Oh, it's going to piss it down, man. Yeah, so I don't think I'll have time for any cinematics today, put it that way. It also has a quick shifter, apparently. So we're going to try that right now. Holy shit, that's fun. Oh, that quick shifter is so much fun. So this bike has Brembo brakes and Öhlins suspension. Hence this bike is like 8.5 grand with 2,000 miles on it. I really like the looks of it, but I don't know if I'm keyed on the riding position, and that's not because the bars are too low, the seat's too high. I just don't like, I don't know, I don't like the front part of how low the screen is. It's really not cool. I prefer a higher screen like on a Gixxer 750. I didn't realise it would be this low when you're riding it. It's got bags of torque. On the move, lighter than my CVR 600 by quite a margin. Oh god. Oh god. Yeah, so lighter than my CVR by quite a margin. I'm interested to see how quick it'll go top end, because this is a triple. Traditionally, they're not supposed to go as quick as an inline 4. Let's try and adjust these, because this is a bit ridiculous. You see what I mean? Like, what is that? I don't think they've been adjusted properly at the shop, unless they do it on the... they do it on the lens, I think. Oh, that's a bit better. Let's just try. Oh, that's cool. Alright, I'll give them a break a bit. They do adjust on the lens. That's pretty good. You ready? Ready. Quick shifter, let's go. Oh, geez, that's fun. Oh, that's fun. Is it better than my CVR, though? That's the question. I don't know. CVR feels more chunky between your legs, which you could also say makes you feel more planted. Mirrors on my CVR, I'm not going to say they're better because they vibrate, which makes them utterly shit and useless, but I prefer the shape of them to the Daytona ones. The screen for me is just too low, like all the wind, maybe because I'm a tall guy, but the wind is going to hit me straight like in the chest, which is where you don't want it. Obviously I'd have to duck down like that, which I don't want to have to do that. My screen on my CVR, if I had to take a guess, is about 3 inches higher. It's about there, which makes all the difference. All the wind goes up my visor and over my head. Brake test. Yeah, brakes are on point. I could buy this just for the clutch and brakes. I think it's because it feels so premium. I almost don't like it, if you know what I mean. It almost feels too snazzy. The back brake is almost as good as my front brake on my CVR. That is ridiculous. Peg position is similar to my CVR. It is quite high up, but it bends your leg forwards. It's not just flat, like you are bent forward like that to go with the bars, which is, you know, it's quite comfortable actually. Carbon fibre styling all the way around the inside. first thing that caught my eye about this, and the fact that it's a matte black finish. I'm only allowed this for 40 minutes today, so no cinematics, because I just want to ride it, because it needs to go somewhere or something. But let's give it a thrash down here, shall we? Needs to be done really, doesn't it? The power delivery is very good, but it's totally different to how I imagined. The power delivery is like a 600 inline 4 up front. You get to the mids, and the mids are totally different. The mids have so much more pull, which makes you think that when you are revving it like fuck in first, and you're going into like the mid-range in like second, third gear, it keeps pulling, which makes it feel like a thou a little bit. But then when you get near the top, it goes back to like that 600 kind of pull, if you understand what I mean. So it's got a better pull throughout all the ranges, hence the 75cc extra, I am imagining. But yeah, it feels quite good. It's just, it's so different to what I ride that I think it's just something a bit alien to me. Even though it's a sports bike still, it's just like, it's a sports bike on the total other end of the spectrum. It's a triple, it rides different, it's a different weight, it's a different style, power's different, you know. It's not like me jumping on a Gixxer 600, where it would be quite relatable to my Honda. Man, that's ace. That is ace. Normally on my CBR, to get it to do that, I have to like snap it, but on this you just roll on and the front wheel will just start coming up. That is ace. It's like they've taken on the, it's like on the new 765 RS, they've taken a lot of the stuff from the Daytona R and put it on the Street Triple. When I rode a Street Triple R, I don't remember the clutch being as light as that. But obviously this bike's a lot more money, but you know. I don't know if I prefer the 765 RS to this, to be fair. I think I do. I'm not sure. We'll put it this way actually, these are standard levers. This is something I haven't taken into consideration yet. These are standard levers and I'm naturally two-fingering them. And the brakes are shit hot as well. You can feel it like ready to come up, but you can just back off if you don't fancy that. We'll pull over in this little lay-by here. It looks like a farm track. I'll let you guys have a little look round of it because I don't have a tripod with me to do any nice cinematics. But that doesn't matter because you've actually got quite a nice scenery anyway. Stand comes out nicely. Let's have a look around her then. So, Triumph Daytona 675R. Carbon fibre mudguard, Brembo brakes, all-in suspension, matte black styling with a red frame, standard exhaust. You know, it's pretty nice. It really is. I don't like that tail tidy though, that'd have to go. But it's a beautiful bike. You can actually see the all-ins there. See that? It's an absolutely gorgeous bike when you look at it, and to get on it and ride it, I don't know, man, it's just, it's different, to say the least. To think that you could nearly get an S1000, no, scratch that. You could buy an S1000 RR for the money that this costs. You know what I mean? You're getting a lot of bike for the money, like top quality suspension, top quality brakes, but it's just a lot of money, like 8 grand. I do actually, first time I've tried going around 60 around some twisties, and it does feel pretty good actually. I can't deny that. I don't know. I think you might just have to sit a bit differently, if I'm honest. I think you just might have to be a bit more crouched up, because on my CBR I'm quite proud up like this and it suits me fine. Whereas on this thing I think you just need to duck down a bit more. That feels like, you'll probably be able to see on the camera I'm a bit more level with the screen now. Maybe it is just like a shorter bike, which I don't know if that suits my height. All these factors, man, these are all the things you have to think about. It's whew, that's an interesting one. It's really quick. It is identical top end nearly to my. Scratch that. It is identical top end to my 600RR, but the mids. It's the mids that make it fun. Like that pull there. Oh, that's the thing about the CBR 600RR. I have not ridden any of the other 600s, but that is the problem with it. Is the mids are just like lacking so much. The bottom end mids, whereas this thing pulls from beginning to middle to end. It's total throughout, which I'm surprised at. I thought it would have loads more front end, loads more middle, and like next to no top end, and that's not true. It goes just as quick as my CBR does. It feels like I'm riding the same bike when I was going down that road then. I do feel like the CBR pulled a bit higher. Like when you get about really high speeds, I feel like the CBR keeps pulling right up to like top speed. This thing kind of starts to back off a bit. Obviously I haven't ridden this bike for like a day, 2 days, so I can't say. I'm no expert on the bike. This is just my first impressions really. Let's go through the positives first. Styling's amazing. Brembo Öhlins, that's 3. It's light and nimble. Got a quick shifter, that's 5. It has an immobilizer. Didn't even know that. 6. You know, quite slipper clutch. 7. Power delivery. 8. You know, could go on. Obviously, the downfalls with this bike are it's quite scrunched, so you have to be quite. You can't really be 6'2" like me. I don't think. I don't think it suits that type of rider personally very well. Even though it has all-in suspension, I found it very bumpy on some of the corners. And that's really all I could find. But for a sports bike, they're really important things. You don't want bumpy corners. You don't want to feel uncomfortable. You want to feel planted when you're going quick. And I don't know, I just don't feel like it felt like that, really. It was quite bumpy, considering it's got 2.5 grand suspension on it. Maybe it's just how it's set up. Not sure. Really good bike, just don't know if I'd want one. I would probably give this bike an 8 out of 10. If that helps anything at all. An 8 out of 10. I'll write on the screen currently what I'm rating it down and what I'm rating it on. I'm going to start doing this on my first rides now because it gives you, the viewers, a better idea of if I'm really not sure on the test ride about the bike, especially when I've ridden my bike home and I've ridden my bike for the day, I can then look back and compare and stuff. So I'll write down the ratings on, you know, styling, power, brakes and suspension, and, you know, cost. I'll write down all them things, and you'll see what marks it down and stuff. We'll see what it's like getting back on my bike, shall we? I might have been totally wrong, and I might absolutely love the Daytona. Who knows?